Is a hyena a cat or a dog is a frequent Google search here in the United States. Hyenas kind of fit our schema of both cats and dogs, and if we're trying to reason out what one is without the help of Google, we might be looking at how they look a lot like African wild dogs, or how they hunt in packs that are organized into hierarchies a lot like lions do. However, if we look at a phylogenetic tree, basically like the family tree for all living creatures throughout all of history, we will see that a hyena is not a cat or a dog. Though closer related to cats, a hyena is its own species. Its closest living relative is a mongoose. A hyena is a hyena. This question is formed on a false premise. No matter what choice you picked, you would have been wrong. If you knew the answer to the question, you might have interjected that a hyena is a hyena. But if you didn't, you might have trusted me and my false premise and picked one of the options that I gave you, cat or dog, and then came up with evidence to support that claim. Now you're not just looking at the wrong answer, you're also invested in the wrong answer. In order to properly answer this question, we would have needed to first unask it. We needed to mew. A hyena fits in between our schema of dog-like and cat-like predator. A schema is a generalization that we can use to mentally classify things that are alike. That sounds like a complicated definition, but just think of a 3-year-old at a zoo whose first experience with birds or chickens, he sees a peacock at the zoo, and then he says, "Look, a colorful chicken." His schema of bird isn't bird, it's chicken. In English, we have yes, no, maybe, neither, and both to go with questions. But all of these things except the question, even if they're negative or positive, if I say yes or no, I'm still accepting that the question is valid. So this hyena question isn't going to get you in any trouble. You might get it wrong, but then you learn something, and well, so what? Let's imagine this in a different situation. You are on trial for murder. You know you're innocent, but I'm interrogating you and I don't know that. Given the intense situation, your body and brain are now being flooded by your stress hormone, cortisol. As your heart rate increases, your cognitive resources are decreasing. Your critical thinking skills are now out of the window. Your digestive tract has slowed down. Your body is in full flight or flight mode. And both of those options look very bad on trial. And then I beg the question, have you stopped murdering people yet? This is a heavily loaded question. Answer yes, and well, direct admission of guilt, you're going to jail. Answer no, and you were at one point a murderer. Answer maybe, and that's just a dead giveaway. In a high-stakes situation like this, your brain does not reword things as well as you might think it will. Formulating the sentence, "I am not, nor have I ever been, a mass murderer," is a difficult thing to do given the situation. What you need here is not this long sentence, but the concept of what you are about to do in your head. Imagine this as trying to do mathematics as a group of hyenas chase you through the savannah. In Asiatic languages, the word for what we need to use in this situation is mew. We have to unask the question, because concepts precede words even when we are speaking. This can be exemplified by forgetting the name of something yet knowing the definition and the meaning of it in its entirety. You get that it's on the tip of your tongue feeling and you just don't know. It's a patella. Your kneecap is called a patella. Because your mind comes to concepts before it comes to words, having a concept in this situation is incredibly useful. Now, I am not in any way suggesting that if you ever found yourself falsely on trial for murder, that it would be a good idea to respond to your interrogator with the word mew. Please don't do that. In English, we lack a word for unasking our questions. We just have to logically do it. And this is an issue. The things that you lack a word for, you do slower. In cultures that have multiple words for a color, they can identify the differences in those colors more quickly. Russian has multiple words for the color blue, and studies have found that they can identify discrepancies quicker than English speakers who only have blue. Asiatic languages like Japanese and Korean have the word mu, which means, well, there is no exact English translation, but it means most closely to unask the question. Having a name for this makes it more easy to remember and more easy to do in a stressful situation. The reason I am teaching you this is because, as a great man once said,
"It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale. Understanding others and the other nations will help you become whole."
Thank you for watching.